Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Captain America Issue 6, 2023. Really awesome cover, and I love that it's a mashup of Doctor Strange and Captain America there, and it's like, what the hell is going on with his shield? Well, guess what? That actually does work out to what goes on in this issue. So, let's get into this. So, this is mainly split up between the two different time periods. The one in 1939, and of course the one in the present day. And we see everything kind of going nutty-doo-dah and everything. The arc of history is born in moments that are rarely recognized for what they are. Tides that shape the world, define generations, and, for some reason, always seem to come in cycles. Or more simply, as my mom used to say, what goes around comes around. On one side, one age, a gathering of people who have allied themselves with a power that shares their hate. Madison Square Garden, February 1939. They have come to celebrate the beast that is about to sink its teeth into the throat of the world, little realizing that the same beast is about to sacrifice them to create sympathy for its cause. Unless, as we see Steve and the rest fighting at him, another side, another age. A gathering of those who have sworn to never again let that beast straddle the world on legs of steel and fire, who are about to be murdered by that beast to create fear in any who might dare stand in its way. Talking about where the doors are, what's kind of going on in the Simon Convention Center present day. And of course, Misty's like, we can't leave them inside there. Talking about busting on the walls with Sharon telling them to put their backs into it. Let's see what kind of goes on. Unless the moment begins to turn. I don't understand, emissary, as Cap's getting kicked. What do these people ever do to you? It's not what they have done, but what they and you will do that must be stopped at all costs. The world is moving toward a nexus point, and you are change agents. And you, Captain America, are the most dangerous of them all. This time, I will not make the same mistake I made with you before. This time, I will not let you live. We will take your life and capture your soul for all time so it never touches anyone else, ever. It's like, damn, fuck you, Asmodee. And the emissary. I don't get it, Sharon. At all the other murder sites, magical symbols were drawn on the walls to keep the victim's soul from escaping. That wasn't done here, so what's the point? But the thing is, they then put a light on, it's like, and then they see the light kind of thing go, it's like, oh. And then we see, you okay, kid? As Steve is like fucking screwed up from all the exertion, saying that he's fine. Then they get to the truck, and it's like, okay, the doors are welded solid, side windows are barred, windshield's too narrow to get through, we can see the bomb, but we can't get to it. We gotta break down the doors, get in there before it explodes. We can't, the metal's too thick. And then Steve's like, I'm small enough to crawl in, I can do it. They're talking about he was in no shape. I'll be in worse shape if this thing blows up, just get me in there. Give me 2 minutes, kid. I don't know if we've got 2 minutes. Engine's running, gotta drive this as far as I can. So they pretty much get him driving the bomb truck as they're pretty much running to like help him out as well. They're able to get in, and we see Steve's kind of getting fucked up by the emissary. Sharon tries to help out, but Steve's like, don't worry about me, help the other people. And that's how Steve is. Get them out of here. I've got this. No, actually, you don't. Give me time. It's like, yep, he just has to have time for it. And then he gets like blasted by Asmodee's fire as Steven's like, I think I have a, Cap, talk fast, Strange. I think I have a way to beat this guy, but it'll take a minute. Can you keep him occupied? I don't think that'll be a problem, as he's pretty much getting flambéed. And of course, they're trying to figure out where they are in the speech for the code phrase, but of course, he gets to it, and they did it. It's triggered. They've only got 5 minutes, so they're pretty much trying to drive it to a place so that way the explosion wouldn't do as much damage. We get back, and Steve's getting pretty much knocked around. And we see the head come out. Steve, help is on the way. Better get here fast. I don't know how much longer I can take this. How about right now? As we see green energy come and then blast out as it latches onto the shield. As Sharon's like, oh my. And then we see what's going on from the cover. And I like this. It's like, oh, that's kind of cool. I give you the Eye of Agamotto. Pretty sure this is the only thing that you can use safely and can defeat Asmodee. Everything else is too dangerous. Though I don't really agree with Steve's line here. Not sure this belongs in the middle of a symbol for America Strange. You've seen the back of a $1 bill lately? Point taken. It's like, yeah, there's been a lot of kind of stuff. Steve would have just I get it, the point of levity and joke, but it's more like I would think that Steve in this situation would just be more focused on making sure that Asmodee and the people around him would be taken care of and be safe, and he would be able to deal with the threat more than like that. It's like he's dealt with weird or crazy kind of stuff. Normally he doesn't deal much with the supernatural, but he'd just be like, I need to take this demon-ass out. Right, let's finish this. As we then see him slam the shield into him, and it's like, oh shit, this is doing some shit. So we shift over, and we see that he's making peace with pretty much Sheena's mom as he drives the truck into the river. And then we see that the water's pouring and everything, and we get the whole thing of his mom looking out for him and all that. Last looks. But then we see that he says, not today, as he opens his eyes. The ground doesn't shift today. And we see him pretty much get out, but get blasted as well. It's like, shit. So we see that the Eye of Agamotto is definitely powering Steve up to take on Asmodee, and he's able to pretty much grab the emissary and slams the shield against him with the Eye of Agamotto. This whole thing has felt familiar. You said you knew me, that you'd let me live. What did you mean? No, suffer. After you. Don't do it. If you destroy King of Hell, there will be consequences. He's beaten. Let him go. And I'm like, this is one case where I would definitely think that Steve would have listened to Strange on this. You heard what he said. Release me or burn. And Steve says, no. And then he utilizes the kind of power, blasting it out. We see... I don't know if this is like killing him. Oh, he does... We see that Asmodee blasts out, and then we are led to believe that he explodes. Granted, with supernatural kind of stuff like this, it could happen. It might just mean that they need to reform. That's more kind of like, it depends upon if they're considered a primordial force or if they're actually able to be killed. Now, no body at the moment, so we'll see what happens. And then, I'm not entirely sure I deserved this. And then he falls down dead. Well, there you are. It's like, shit. I understand Steve taking out a threat and definitely making sure that it's out there, but he would have consulted with Strange more, at least in my opinion, of what kind of goes on, and to maybe either try and contain or blast him into some other kind of parallel dimension or whatnot, because the Eye pretty much had him down, so that way everybody could get out. Strange could be like, that's a King of Hell. Strange and Clea would come, depending upon what was kind of going on and what kind of things that they were doing to let him deal with that. And then we see that Steve in 1939, finding the ramifications of what were going on. While you were unconscious, the last 3 days, we checked everything. We checked around and got the list of everything that was wrong with you before you went into the water. Given what you endured after you went in the water, the blast, the cold as you lay on the sand until you were found, the toxicity of the water, that close to the sewer line, as he's coughing, I'll be fine. I wish that were true, Steve, but I have an obligation to tell you the truth. Your health has been declining for a long time. Heart, lungs, nervous system. What you just went through has accelerated that to a degree beyond any hope of. My professional opinion, barring a medical miracle, you have maybe 5 years. Could be less, could be a lot less. Asking if he's got any family. It's like, so we find out that before Steve was going to take the process to be the super soldier, he pretty much was going to die anyway. It's like, shit. I don't mind that kind of retcon. It kind of adds a little bit more instead of like reducing it or anything. It adds to him being like, if this kills me, this kills me. It's a thing. I'll deal with it. I'll see what kind of goes on with the whole taking of the super soldier serum. It's like, okay, so I view it as a value add to Steve's origin stories rather than distracting or just like a stupid superfluous kind of thing added onto it. I can understand other people going to have varying opinions on that one. It is a different kind of thing to add on. And then we see, now, clean shot, easy, as someone's looking in with a sniper scope on him. And we see that's Asmodee. For the crime of interfering with Operation Garden, which shall I shoot, the head or the heart? Or I can choose. No, Rolf. A bullet ends his suffering and makes him a martyr. I wish to do neither. Let him live out his last years as an invalid or worse, lost, in pain. Let him die unknown, sick and alone. He is irrelevant. As that is Asmodee's mistake. Mr. Rogers, pleased to meet you. My name is Dr. Abraham Erskine. It's like, And then we switch to another part at the end, which is definitely interesting, as we see that Sung has done an amazing job, and that he thinks that he's owed a bonus. You let me and my family stay in the manager's apartment for free during the rent-out, and that's exactly what I was thinking about. That he's got a kind of crazy life, and he needs someone he can trust who can run things while he's gone. He'd want him to stay on as the manager, give you a leg up on things while you rebuild your contracting business. What do you say? And he appreciates the offer, but he had a meeting with the family, and they decided to head to Seattle. That there's family there that can help him for work, a large Korean community, and a good school nearby for Haejun. Well, I'm sorry to see you go. Are you sure? It's the right move for us and for our daughter. Then good luck, and if I can ever be of help, please let me know. And I love that with Steve. Like, he offers him something, and he's like, no, we're good. And thank you. We'll do, Steve. And it's like, I hope he does. He's a small character, but that's the great thing about Steve. He will fight demons and entity, like, cosmos-ending things, and he's just like, he's Steve. That's what makes him the good guy that he is, the good person that he is, and to be able to talk with people like that. Morning, Steve. Mrs. Rosen, how many times you gonna polish that until folks can see their face in it? Not my idea of a good time at my age. I heard Seung and his family left this morning. Yes, going to Seattle. Well, I can't blame them. Blame them for what? They didn't tell you? Tell me what? Maybe I shouldn't. Please, I'd like to know. Well, it really isn't my place to go into details. It was their decision, and they just didn't feel this was a good area for their daughter to live in. But you know the street where Seung kept his work van even after they moved in? Of course. Maybe pay it a visit. It might be better than me trying to explain it. It's like, what the fuck? So then he goes and he sees the Nazi stuff. It's like, yep. Those assholes still are around. You still gotta fight them. And then I love that he then goes to paint it over to fight that shit. The arc of history is born in moments that are rarely recognized for what they are. Tides that shape the world, define generations, and for some reason always seem to come in circles. And I do like his shock, but then I do like the kind of look on his face of like, I gotta do something about this. On one side are those who have allied themselves with a power that shares their hate. On the other side, those who have sworn to never let that beast straddle the world on legs of steel and fire. We didn't end the war with Germany because we decided to stop fighting Nazis. We stopped because we ran out of Nazis to fight. They ditched their uniforms and ran from the field of battle. So if anyone else ever wants to put those uniforms on again and step back onto the battlefield, well, I'll be waiting for it. Damn straight, Steve. Damn straight. And that's where it ends. So, overall, I liked where this kind of ended up, getting and figuring out Steve's origin and everything like that. So it'll be interesting to see where we go forward next on this. I liked him teaming up with Strange and being able to take on Asmodee like that. So we'll see what goes on. So now we've got the preview for Captain America issue 7. Just when Steve Rogers believes the fight against Asmodee is won, he meets a strange new ally named Lila, guardian of the mysterious Front Door Cabaret, and learns that Asmodee's defeat has unleashed a new threat that only Steve can stand against. A bold new arc that will send ripples across the Marvel Universe begins here. So that'll be interesting. Now, I'm only wondering if only Steve could stand against it because he killed a king of hell. I wonder if that follows certain kind of rules of like you keep what you kill, i.e. that technically that position of like the king of hell is like conferred upon Steve, and that he's now got like supernatural devils and demons coming after him because they want to claim that title. That's what some things happen with. That's usually how power struggles in hell, typically depending upon what kind of goes on, like, hey, Johnny took out Mephisto, now he is Ghost Rider, the King of Hell. That kind of stuff. Could be. I'm just spitballing here. But I'm definitely interested to see what goes on with that, and how we finished one leg of the Asmodee journey. We'll have to see how this kind of goes on forward and what Steve will do to kind of combat it next. So I'm like, okay, I'm definitely interested for that. Definitely interested to see how this works out. Overall, I've been really kind of happy with this cap run, barring certain kind of things that I'm like, I don't really like that kind of characterization of Steve, but it's mainly smaller kind of stuff. It's not like him going out of his way to like completely and utterly murder somebody and just be like, I'm a crazy motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's not like turning Cap into the Punisher. It's more just like quibbles where I'm like, I don't agree that Steve would say or do this kind of thing to this kind of extent. But I'm happy and I can't wait to see what kind of is going on and continuing on with this. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.